Hello, I'm Coercer, and we are watching games from ArtifactCup 26. Now we're watching matchups from round 1, and the game we watched previously was BBI Iain versus Hyper. Iain won that game on Thorin Crater, and the score is now 1-0. So let's load up the next game. Hyper had a good shot at winning that game, but Iain just nuked Hyper's army with his cruise missile and secured his win in the previous game. So we'll see how this one will pan out. This match will be played on the Shallows. Hyper is playing as the Khanef and BBI Iain as the Coalition. Right, let's just go on. Production. So, Hyper has spawned down in the south as the Khanef forces, and BBI Iain has spawned up in the north as the Coalition. Both players are now establishing their initial economies. Hyper as the Khanef is of course not retiring his base runner, as it can build blast drones, and we'll see if he'll take advantage of that. And yes, there is already a blast drone out, but he will need at least 2 to deal any damage to Iain's salvaging operation. Now the Shallows is quite an interesting map, one of my favorite maps to play on. The main is quite easily defended. It has just this one entrance, and you can place units on these 2 ledges, so they get a high ground advantage, and you can fend this whole area in front quite well if you place some railguns on these ledges. Hyper is already starting to expand to his first bulkhead, and in the meantime Iain has sent out his own base runner as well as a probe to see what's going on, but the probe did not spot these 2 blast drones. So if Hyper gets this right, he should be able to move in with the blast drones and potentially deal a lot of damage to Iain's economy. Iain has 2 LAVs out on the field, trying to scout around and see if Hyper has any units moving around. Iain has spotted Hyper's base runner waiting for the artifact, and Iain's base runner is waiting on the middle artifact as well. Now Hyper moving in with his blast drones. These guys. Iain spots the blast drones and immediately splits his salvagers, trying to save as many of them as he can. These 2 were a bit too close together. The blast drones take them out. Now they had quite a few resources on them, so that was a good hit for Hyper. And now if Hyper will secure this artifact, he will have a bit more of an advantage. Now this base runner is under attack by a lone LAV, but that shouldn't be a problem. The base runner should make it over to the extraction zone. Now if the other LAVs join in and start dealing damage to it, he can always deploy the smoke wall ability and screen the base runner for a bit from that damage. Now Hyper is already mining from his first bulkhead, and Iain is just now moving out his carrier. He has constructed a support cruiser in the meantime. And let's see what Hyper is doing. He is researching assault ship fabrication, and at the same time building another production cruiser, which is a bit of an odd choice. Usually when you go assault ships, you don't need 2 production cruisers, just one is enough to keep up with production. And what you should do if you go assault ships is you should research interceptor fabrication immediately afterwards, so you spend your resources evenly. But you definitely don't need 2 production cruisers for this. Now, 1 LAV from Iain has come in and disrupted Hyper's salvaging operation, so he needs to back off from that location, but he will now relocate those salvagers to the other bulkhead as long as that LAV is there. Now, if Hyper would put power into his missile system, he could probably just take it out from afar, and then there wouldn't be any threat to his salvagers, at least any immediate threat to it. Both players have secured one artifact, but Hyper loses his base surrender, and Iain spots the two production cruisers are moving out towards his base, and Iain is probably thinking that those production cruisers will pump out assault railguns and heavy railguns as the usual two production cruiser attack build, and Iain is now placing a turret right in the path of these assault ships and production cruisers, and that turret should deal quite some damage if Hyper doesn't respond and take out that turret as soon as possible. The turret takes out one assault ship. Now the one strangling assault ship is trying to deal with the turret before it deals too much damage. It just takes it out before being destroyed as well. Hyper has pulled back one assault ship to defend against these poking enemies that Iain has out in the field, but Iain now moves out confidently with his carrier, knowing that there are no railguns on the way, but he has railguns of his own out in the field, or at least he has one railgun out in the field, and that will help his carrier deal with these assault ships quite efficiently and quite quickly, especially since his carrier has two power in turret network, so the carrier is now quite well equipped to deal with these assault ships, especially if supported by railguns. And Hyper has lost all but one of his assault ships, and the two production cruisers survive and escape. Now, let's see, Hyper is building interceptors. He has one in his hangar at the moment, two assault ships on the field and two production cruisers. But it seems that the production cruisers are not building anything, as Hyper is a bit short on resources. The constant interruptions have taken its toll, and losing all of those assault ships of course means that Hyper doesn't have much of an army on the field. No, Iain is just moving in with his carrier, with his railguns, and I'm guessing Iain is feeling very confident that he can take on Hyper's forces head on. Hyper launches interceptors to deal damage to BBI Iain's forces. He is focusing down the railguns as he should, as that will help in the fight to come. If Iain doesn't have many railguns on the field, his carrier will survive much longer. Iain is definitely looking to just move in and kill Hyper's carrier as soon as possible. If Hyper has... no, currently he does not have... he just switched his power to missile systems, to the Kharak missile system, and now he should be able to easily land quite a few missiles on Iain's carrier and hopefully take out large chunks of his health. And there we go, the first missile hits. And if Hyper can keep this up, if he can stay at a distance, prevent Iain from moving in too close to his carrier, he should be able to deal large amounts of damage and hopefully make this fight a bit more even. Now Iain has one railgun on the field supporting his carrier quite well, and now Iain is moving in as close as he can to the Kharak carrier, so Hyper can't launch those missiles and land them on Iain's carrier. Now Hyper is taking a lot of damage quickly. Iain very confident and just moving in, sensing that he can take out Hyper's carrier. Iain placing down anti-air turret, which is slowly taking down Hyper's interceptors, and the base enemy is of course also providing some anti-air. Iain is now building railguns right in the command zone to support his career. That Elgin is getting some good work in reducing Hyper's armor, and oh, Hyper's health is going down so quickly. Wow, that was quite brutal, and quite efficient on Iain's part. I didn't expect this game to be over so quickly or so decisively. Iain confidently moves in and takes victory in this matchup. Hyper is now eliminated from the tournament, and Iain moves on to the semifinals of Artifact Cup number 26. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you as soon as I post the rest of the games in the semifinals.